την narodzenina.
La mulți de 10 ani.
Ευτυχισμένα 10τα γενέθλια, Ευρωπαϊκή Εβδομάδα Προγραμματισμού.
Buon 10° compleanno.
Auguri per il tuo 10° compleanno.
Srećen 10. rođendan.
Sretan 10. rođendan Boži. Sretan 10. rođendan.
Sretnu 10. godišnjicu.
Boldog 10. születésnapot.
Een gelukkige 10e verjaardag.
Joyeux 10e anniversaire.
Happy 10th birthday.
Feliz 10° aniversario.
Ciao Slimes, 10.
Feliz 10° aniversario.
Happy 10th birthday.
Bon anniversaire de 10 ans, hola, Codwick.
Feliz 10° cumpleaños.
Happy 10th birthday.
Tillykke med de 10 år.
Alles Gute für den 10. Geburtstag.
Happy 10th birthday.
Parabéns pelo 10º aniversário.
Alles Gute zum 10-jährigen Geburtstag.
Buon 10° compleanno, Codwick. Χρόνια πολλά, Codwick. Γίνεσαι 10.
Felice 10° compleanno.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the European Commission here in Brussels. My name is Annika Östergren-Profantuis, and I am the coordinator of EU Code Week.
And hello, my name is Jakub. I'm also from the EU Code Week team and from the Commission, and we are super happy to have you and to welcome you today at the wrap-up of Code Week 2022. And it's great to have you both on Facebook and on YouTube.
And tonight we are going to speak to ambassadors and teachers and do lots of different things, right, Jakub?
Exactly. We will talk about the success stories or about what went really well this year during Code Week. We will also show you how to report activities so that you have that and you can generate your certificates. And we will also talk about some statistics because formally Code Week kind of finished on 23rd of October, but we do it a little bit differently because we think that it's time to celebrate coding every week and make every
week is Code Week, but we celebrate in October.
So you can still participate and you can still register your activities, and that's kind of the message that also we want to pass today. But should we go and look at the results, Annika?
Yes, we actually have broken the 70,000 activities level. We actually have more than 70,000 activities now. And I don't know if you have the picture of the scoreboard. So we have this beautiful scoreboard where you can see the countries, the top 10 countries there on the screen. So number 1 is Monaco with 45, and Malta with 449. Number 3 is Poland with over 13,000 activities, Italy with over 17,000, and Greece with over 3,000. But Jakub, can you explain the figures? Why isn't, for example, Poland or actually Italy in the top?
Yes, very happy to explain that. The way how the scoreboard is designed or what it shows is the number of activities per capita, so that we relate also the number of activities to the actual size of the country. And for instance, when you look at Monaco and Malta, these are very small countries in terms of population, but they have, relative to population, a very high number of activities. And for instance, in Malta, if I'm not mistaken, it's around 3% of 3% of population that is also can participate or participated in Code Week last year. And so that's why we want to show which countries are doing this really good effort compared to their size. But we have also another slide, which I will try to show very quickly. Here it is. And on this slide, you can see actually the absolute numbers. Now, these are not final results because we will still count the activities by the end of the year. But you can see that in absolute numbers, the leaders are the same as last year: Turkey, Italy, Poland. Greece, Romania also doing very well. But Annika, you looked a little bit more in detail on the numbers, right?
Yeah, I checked which countries had more than 2,000 activities this year. So that's Austria, and Greece actually has more than 3,000 for the first time. Netherlands has, how do you say, quadrupled their number. Last year they had 525 events, and this year they have over 2,000. So that's quite an way to go. And Romania also has, for the first time, over 2,000 activities. So all these countries have more than last year, which is really a huge achievement. And then I think there are some countries with more than 1,000 activities.
Exactly. We still have Hungary, Germany, Croatia with more than 1,000 activities. And there are a couple of countries that are, let's say, at 600-700. So maybe until the end of the year, we will still see that they will go even further and reach that 1,000 milestone. But in general, we saw again during Code Week a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of energy from the community. And we saw how, again, all the Code Week community really activated itself during these last weeks and brought coding to new people, to people who have maybe not yet tried it. And of course, we are really grateful for all that effort and for all the energy that you dedicated to Code Week.
Yeah, congratulations really to all of you. And remember that you can organize activities and pin them on the map until the end of the year. So exactly. I think we're going to move now to speak to some of the ambassadors.
But before we do that, I would just remind one or two little things. Of course, you can follow us today on Facebook and YouTube, and you are doing it. You can also follow us on Instagram and Twitter. But I would like to invite you to use the chat function under this post. We'll be looking at there. You can share, and I saw that you shared a lot of you already where you are from and what you do, so you can continue doing it. And feel free to comment or to share ideas or to share your stories. Now I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and we are going to invite a couple of ambassadors or members of the Code Week community, right, Annika?
Yeah, we have Alessandro Boliolo, who is the Code Week ambassador from Italy, and we have Stamatis Papadakis, who is the Code Week ambassador for Greece, or one of them. Hello. And we have maybe Janko Radikovic.
I don't see Janko though.
Janko has not hooked up. So we say welcome to you, and we have some questions for you, Jakub.
Exactly. Alessandro, let's start with you because you are the coordinator of the Code Week ambassador. So you first of all know more or less what's going on in each country, and plus you are doing a lot as every year in Italy, and every year you come up with something new, something interesting, something innovative. So what was it this year? What was the biggest success this year in Italy? And how did you actually celebrate the 10th Code Week anniversary?
Okay, thank you very much for having me, and congratulations on the success so far. And keep working on that in order to break all the records for this edition. So there are many things and a lot of activities, as you have mentioned, but I would like to point the attention on a live map of events. So a live map where we tried to show the ongoing activities rather than all the activities. And schools were challenged in order to keep every hour some lights on the map of active events, like a relay race in which schools wrote lines of codes in order to basically do some kind of storytelling of their own cities and lands. And then there is also a Code Week Fest and Reunion that will take place on November the 9th, where we try to gather all the organizers who contributed to the success of Code Week in Italy in all the 10 editions. And again, there are Code trips, so the school trips that engaged thousands of schools, and so many activities like, for instance, the online interactive activities that were then offered as open online activities to be possibly remixed by teachers and schools. So this is more or less it.
Wow. And Stamatis, Greece, you have actually passed the 3,000 mark this year for the first time, and you ended up 5th on the scoreboard. But there's still time to go, of course. It's the best placement ever I've seen. So what can you say about this year's edition? What activities have been the most popular, or what do you remember from the celebrations this year?
Yes, actually we have a very enthusiastic community of EU coders now in Greece, and especially what is most important for me is that the majority of them are from primary and preschool education, and this is very important because we introduce preschoolers and the young students in coding activities and since the very first years, and this is too important because we like to create, to engage them in coding activities later on when they are in high school and so on. And this is the first step. Another very important step for me is that this enthusiastic community organize a lot of kind of schools. So the last year we had a spring school that we took. I took also part as a coordinator with some very enthusiastic leading teachers. And we had also an autumn school, and a lot of teachers took part in these activities and learned a lot of things, how to organize activities and so on. And what is also very important for me is that this year activities are not activities just with coding. They try to integrate e-twinning activities, coding activities, Erasmus Plus activities, scientific activities, and this is very important because we now have teachers have understand that coding is not a separate activity just in a school lab, but is something that is integrated within the school curriculum. And last, but maybe most important, is that this year we have a new curriculum in Greece, and now the Greek ministry strictly define and ask for teachers to integrate EU Code Week activities in their teaching practice as a very good way to teach students coding activities in a playful and engagement way.
Fantastic. Thank you. That's really nice to hear. Yes. And now Janko is here also.
Yeah. Janko joined us. So happy to have you, Janko, as well. Don't forget to unmute your microphones. And let me just quickly ask you immediately, because Croatia, for the second time in the row, over 1,000 activities, if I'm not mistaken, and if I remember well the scoreboard, and maybe there will be even more. So how was Code Week this year, and how do you manage to enthusize and encourage teachers to actually take part in Code Week, from one year to another, and how do you manage to grow the Code Week community? And feel free to, don't forget to unmute your microphone. You're still muted. Janko, sorry. Now
okay,
it's good.
Do you hear me now?
We hear you. Yes,
okay.
Yes. Thank you.
I'm at Carnet Users Conference, and I have something. I have little problems maybe with communications because it's the biggest conference in Croatia for teachers and for users.
But we hear you well.
Is Croatian Network Association for teachers, primary and high faculty, of course. And it's the biggest event in Croatia of that kind. So you caught me a little bit off guard here, but about 1,000 and a little bit up from 1,000 people this year. I think this is primary from Ivana and me long-term work, maybe. How they said, many years of promotion of Code Week, many years of efforts, many years of trying to explain people the importance of Code Week. So this is a result of many years working. And
very
now
nice. Yeah,
this year
we will
maybe
connect.
We didn't do so much as the last years, but this is the fruit of the all years before. So now we have a result. And of
That's
course,
very
I'm
nice.
hoping that will be even better in the future. So we're hoping that this number is still would rise.
Yeah, thank you.
Definitely. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Alessandro, I was wondering, because you talked about the fest a little bit, the feast that you will have with all the organizers. So I would just like how many people would that be? Because you have like around, I don't know, between 15 and 20,000 organizers every year, and
yes,
say
that's
at least
a
half
very
of
good
them are
point.
new.
We invited more than 30,000 organizers, but I'm afraid that not all of them will take part in the fest. But this would be a great fest because all of them are invited to invite also their pupils. So the fest will be conducted during school hour. So I really hope that a lot of people will take part in it.
It's fantastic.
Okay, let me go back to Stamatis on the Greek on the Greek case and on the success that you are having with Code Week. So you mentioned also that it's now becoming part of the school curricula to have coding at school. So will this help to increase even the number of coding activities? And do you see this progress from year one to another in bringing more kids and especially more schools and more teachers to Code Week?
Yes, of course. Yes, I totally agree with you. Yes, we are very lucky because we tried and finally we managed to incorporate this like of advice to use daily the EU Code Week site for resources and so on. So now our teachers have the right, and also they have the necessary information in order to take resources from EU Code Week website and use it in the classroom. Yes, so I believe that in the next years, the number of activities will be even much more than 3,000 and so on.
Yeah, we're very happy that the
Yes.
resources that you mentioned, the resources
Yes.
that we have on the website. So just for the viewers, that we have actually tutorials that are small videos. We call them learning bits and lesson plans. And we also have a few coding challenges that have been developed by the ambassadors and also by partners. And they're all translated now into 30 languages. Most of them, and we have added Ukrainian as well not so long ago. So Janko, I just wanted to ask, how do you work together with the leading teachers, or how do you work with the resources also that we have on the website?
May I show you something first? This is the something which I'm working now on this conference. And this is the best example of the good practice. So this is the DF robot. It's a McQueen Plus. It's a robot with microbit. So this is what we are working at this conference, and we are talking about artificial intelligence. And the topic of the conference, on the conference are approximately about 1,000 teachers from Croatia. So the main topic is artificial intelligence. So you asked me about the leading teachers. Most of the leading teachers are in here, and they when they have some problem or anything which they are unfamiliar with, they are asking us. So we are helping them on the weekly basis, monthly basis. I don't know.
So we say hello to all the Croatian leading teachers, all the teachers in Croatia. I hope they're watching as well.
More or less all are in here. So we are in Šibenik at coast side. It's a beautiful seaside town. It's about 26 degrees Celsius, so it's a beautiful weather. And it's a perfect combination of relaxing and teaching and knowing how. So I think it's one of the great examples, and maybe to show to other countries how to disseminate all the projects and all the works through the year. which the teachers are working. And you can show them on this conference, they can join, they can send their works. They have some program committee, which is looking for the best projects, and the best projects are presented at this conference. This conference is taking place for 3 days. So many challenges on that conference. And this is the way, more or less, where we are all together and where we are exchanging our minds and thoughts and the problems and good practice. Everything is more or less happening on this place. And communication with leading teachers are on the basis when they have some questions. I don't know, not always the problems, when they have some ideas, when they have they want something to put on the realization, or maybe some help with projects and etc.
That's great. I hope you tell all of them to continue, that Code Week celebrations are over, but they can continue to put activities on the map until the end of the year.
Definitely we would have a lots of I think more projects to put on our websites.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you all for connecting, and big thanks for sharing your stories. We say goodbye now to you, but we don't say goodbye to people who watch, because we have Annika. We have a lot of people sharing. Of course, the classic, like where they are from and where they are watching us and where they are connecting from. And we have people from, I saw Romania, a lot of Italy, Greece. I have also picked up some comments on Facebook, just to show that Athanasia was congratulating the Greek ambassadors for their immediate response to the activity application. So well done. And also some experience from France here, that the students learn to draw a geometric pattern with Scratch. So feel free to share, and go ahead, share in comments your stories. I see that you are doing it, so share it with the others. We are very keen to read these. But now, Annika, I think we will look at another item on the agenda, which is very important for anyone who organized an activity this year, right? Because we will look at how to report these activities and why to report them also.
Yeah, why do we want you to report activities? Well, first of all, it's so that we can get really good statistics, and we can actually say how many people have participated in Code Week every year, and what's the average age of the participants, and how many girls and women there were to take part. This is very important for us. And secondly, we need these numbers kind of to bring the attention to policymakers and everyone in the community, to show that there are really many people who think it's really important that kids and others learn coding, computational thinking, robotics, tinkering with hardware, and all these things that you do during Code Week, and that people get better digital skills. So from our perspective, I should mention also the Commission. We have different targets. For example, that 80% of the population should have basic digital skills by 2030, and we should have 20 million ICT specialists also by 2030. And Code Week contributes to this, but maybe most directly to another target, which is to halve the number of 8th graders, because they measure 8th graders, who actually today fail in computing and in digital literacy. So that's like the targets, but it's important.
You forgot one important thing. Why to report an activity is because people are organizers, teachers, they will receive a certificate, and there are different types of certificates. So before we go to Tommaso, who is already ready and with whom we will look at how to report the activities, let's first look at what the different certificates are and how to get them.
Yeah, so you see now, this is like the organizer's certificate. This is what you get when you report an activity. You have organized an activity and you report it. Then you can get this certificate where you have your name as an organizer. But we also have other types of certificates. We have the participant certificate. This is the certificate that you give, for example, to the kids in your class, that they took part in a Code Week activity. Then we have the certificate of excellence. That is the certificate you get if you manage to build an alliance of at least 10 organizers in the Code Week for All challenge, or if you manage to connect 3 organizers in 3 different countries. This certificate, though, you only get in January, the year after. So in January 2023, you will get this because you can actually build alliances until the end of the year and take part in the challenges. So if you haven't made it yet, there is still time. And then the last certificate that we have is the Super Organizer certificate, which is for those who manage to organize more than 10 activities by themselves. And this is also given out in end of January when we have calculated all the numbers and checked that everything is okay.
And once you receive these certificates, you can of course share them on your Facebook, on your Instagram, on your Twitter, and we always see after Code Week, and then especially when you receive the Code Week for All certificates, that people share it and are proud that they took part in Code Week. So go ahead and please do it again. Now, as I said, we have with us Tommaso della Vecchia. I hope that I'm reading it properly, Tommaso.
Of course. Yeah. Everybody, hello. Very nice to be with you tonight.
Tommaso is from EU Schoolnet, so he is part of the, let's say, Central Code Week team. And we will look at with him exactly on how to report these activities, because as Annika said, this is super important for us and for the success of Code Week, so that you don't only register the activities, but also report them. And Tommaso, you will do a live demo of that, right?
I'll be with your guinea pig, of course. And it's as important as it is easy to report your activity. So please don't forget, you get a lot of wonderful certificates, first of all, but also you give us a lot of hope and push for a next edition. So please do so. Reporting an activity, as I was mentioning, it's very easy because everything comes to you, actually. So first of all, as soon as your event is passed, you receive this very nice email that just simply asks you to report the activity with a link that directly leads you to where you have to enter the very few data that you are asked for. Now, for instance, I still have an event from the mid-October to report. So I would click on the event itself, and then I'm asked for 5 fields to fill in very, very briefly with just some numerical figures and just the title, the name that I would like to appear on the certificate. So it's that simple to obtain the certificate and report the main elements of the activity that carried out.
Okay, very good. I think, how many normally, Annika, we want to have as many as possible, right? As many as ideally all the activities reported. Is that correct?
Yes, of course. We would like all. I think right now I checked, we have 50%. So half of the organizers have reported and got their certificate. But of course, we want more, and we also want you to have the certificate, of course, and to share them on social media. So tell me, Tommaso.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
I can't really see because I have a very small screen, but I will try and make it bigger. Have you reported? Have you filled in the fields?
Not yet, because I wanted to show you something else. Okay. In fact, I want to show you that if you, for some reason, you don't receive this email or it goes to spam, so you lose it or you don't find it, you actually have everything you need in your profile. So if you click on the nice little icon on the top right of the web page, you can actually go directly to report my activities field. Here you have the exact same interface. So when you go, you just fill in your the number of participants that took part to your activity, the average participant age, the percentage of females that took part, which is a very important data for us. So I would say that 80% of the teachers who took part in these activities were actually women, and then the name for the certificates. And in this case, I want to call it also live chat with the humans of Code Week. when you submit your activity report, this is done. So it will elaborate your certificate, and you can simply directly download it from the page. And here you will see what I've just received for very simply and quickly reporting the basic data about the activity that I've carried out and I pinned on the map.
And one important thing to say is that really check the data and the name, because you can't edit it afterwards. So here you see what Tommaso has written.
Absolutely, yes. You be careful. Otherwise, you would need to contact the central system and so on. It's not always so, of course, straightforward. So better to get it done correctly the first time.
Okay, Tommaso, are there other? I showed we showed a lot of other certificates. How do you do to get a certificate for the participants?
Yes, that's also a very nice feature that this website has. So again, everything that you need is in your profile. You have this nice breakdown where you can actually find the different features. Here you can see that I'm clicking on participation certificate. And this is the interface that allows me to generate the certificate for the people that are taking part in my activity. So I just simply put the name of the students, for instance, Sabrina, Carlos, and Marta, that took part to this fictional activity, the name of activity, which I've already named it, Masterclass on Unplugged Coding, and when the activity took place. Let's say it took place today, so I don't have actually to wait to report the whole activity for generating these certificates, and I simply generate them, and the system will elaborate them, of course, and then I would be able to download them all together and distribute them to my students, and I can show it to you, so you will just believe me. And here you have the participant certificate for Marta for having contributed to the success of Code Week and for having taken part to the activity that I've organized. Always very good to provide certificate to the participants that took the time to be with you on that specific activity or day.
And then because there is another way to get these participants certificates as well, right?
Indeed, yes, you can actually have it by finding it on the resource of the web page. You see that under resources, you have the presentation and toolkits that you can freely use. It's always updated to the year. And in the teacher's toolkit, you will have actually also the nice template, which is a PDF template, which you can edit with the names of your students. So this is a kind of a method that takes you a bit longer, of course, but allows you also to actually organize and have the certificate also personalized as you like, and it's as simple as modifying a PDF page slide, really.
Thank you so much, Tommaso.
One more thing, there was also a question on Facebook actually from Ahmad Said, how to join an alliance for Code Week for All, and that's also linked to the certificate. So maybe just let's very quickly also repeat how to get these Code Week for All certificates.
Absolutely. So for the Code Week for All certificate, what you have to do, well, when you actually include an activity, when you add an activity, you're actually offered a Code Week for All code that we can share with your peers or your colleagues. So in that case, you would be the starter, the one initiating an alliance. If instead you want to join an alliance that has been already created, then you have to get in touch with the teachers. On the Facebook group dedicated to the Code Week teachers, there are thousands of teachers that are actually proposing their alliances to you to join. And then what you have to do with the code that they give you to you, you just paste it in this field that, of course, say Code Week for All, so you can't really miss it. And when you upload the activity, when you organize the activities, of course, and then when you report the activity, then all goes into the machine that actually calculate whether you are entitled to gain a Code Week for All certificate, so a certificate of excellence. And where do you find all these wonderful certificates? Again, everything is in the website. So under your profile, you can get to your certificates. And here you have the list with all the ones that you've received. And I can show you, for instance, an example of a certificate of excellence that was gained in 2018 in this case. So you see the history of your participation in Code Week remains within the website, within your profile. So it at hands for you to go and remember the nice moments passed with us.
Tommaso, thank you very much for this overview. And I just can also break the news that we will also have a short video tutorial at some point later in November, where we will sum it up again and explain so that you can watch in case this is problematic. But I think it's super easy, user-friendly, and you can easily do it. So thanks, Tommaso, for sharing this with us and with the community. I'm now putting you away, removing you, because we are about to welcome another speaker today. And we are going to Ireland to Julie Power, because Julie, hello, Julie, how are you?
Hi, everybody.
Hello. So you are a Code Week ambassador in Ireland, and for this year, for the 10th anniversary, you did a special project or special initiative. You developed the escape room for Code Week 2022, which is now available online, and anyone can access it, anyone can use it, anyone can play it, and hopefully crack the codes and go ahead and solve it. So can you just very briefly explain of how the escape room works and how to enter it?
First, can you explain what is an escape room?
Okay.
Because I'm not actually sure everyone knows what an escape room is, and then we can go to the next question. What is an escape room, Julie? Really?
Okay, an escape room. I do apologize. My battery is telling me there's problems, but hopefully it'll survive. Yeah, escape room. It's really a series of problems, or series of challenges that we want to solve one by one in order to escape. So, a few years ago, myself and Pam, and indeed our predecessor, the previous ambassador, Mags Hammond, we started to use escape rooms, but it was the physical escape room we used then, and we would have had a box and a bunch of padlocks attached to that. And, students would work through each of the challenges to unlock one of those padlocks. And then when COVID hit, we started to explore the online versions. So my poor family and friends and neighbors were all subjected to the online version during COVID. And it just seems to work really well because you can do the exact same idea, but you can reach so many more people. So we have a platform that we're using, and we have set up a series of about 6 or 7 puzzles. And all people need is just a browser to work away and to solve that. We just provide the link. So that's the idea of an escape room. Yeah.
And how does this one work?
Okay, so this one here is the link is available on. There's a blog post on the website at the moment, and all people need to do is use that URL. Ideally, set the students up in pairs, maybe work in teams. They only need to have, access to the device. They can even do it on their phone if needs be. And it shouldn't take too long to do. But what we've done is we've actually used as few words as possible. So we used across Europe. And we don't provide any clues because it's really just to think outside the box. So if everyone can kind of there is one little tip that we give, which is at the bottom of each puzzle, there is, it kind of shows you whether you're looking for, the answers you're looking for might be 3 letters or 3 and 4 numbers or 3 colors. So have a look at that and see, and that will kind of give an idea of what the clue might be.
I mean, I remember I tried it several times and I had really fun, but at the same time, it was challenging. It was not given, but it was. I mean, it was great to try it. Have you also played it with your students or with your with people, in your community? And what did they say on the escape room?
Yeah, I suppose I've tried it with 2 different groups. So my own work crowd, my colleagues in work, we did it as one of our team meetings. I was teaching 17-year-old girls in they're studying computer science in school, and I was teaching them when you had 10 minutes left, and I knew it was fairly short, so I asked them then to divide and conquer. So they all took one question each, because you can do the questions in any order as well. And we haven't set a time limit, so people can actually set their own timer if they like. I've also seen, just from where we're approving activities, I've seen that a primary school has done it as well, and I've seen it on Twitter actually, and they're 11, 12-year-olds, and they've done it also. So all different age groups have kind of worked through it. I think probably upper primary though, 11, 12-year-olds onwards for any age group after that. So it could be done in work, it could be done at home, it could be done in college, school, wherever.
Cool. And until when will it be online? Sorry, last question, Julie. Until when is it available?
It is there now, Annika, isn't it?
Yeah, I put it in the chat. Yeah, so it's in the chat. Yeah, it's there. It's there. Yeah, still there.
We'd love to hear about it. We'd love people to post on Twitter as well, just using the hashtag Code Week, and also just to remind people as well to pin the activity if they do use the escape room.
Very good. So the link is in the comments. Go ahead and try it. Julie, thank you very much for sharing this, and especially for doing it for Code Week. Great initiative, and we are really happy to have
and well done, Jakob, for escaping as well.
Thanks, Julie. Bye. Okay, we are going to welcome another speaker who is coming.
To travel to Ukraine, actually.
Exactly.
We're going to speak to Alexander Kahai, who has organized an IT mini festival. I don't know how to pronounce it actually, but maybe like Sakodu. And we're very happy to have you here, despite the war and all the horrible circumstances that you are going through. And we would just like you tell us a little bit about this festival and how you are, etc., and how you organized it.
Hi, Annika. Hi, Jakob. Hi, everybody. I'm glad to see you, and I want to say happy birthday, dear team of Meet and Code and Codivik. And about our project, it's maybe, I hope I'm right, it's fast. And we making different interesting events in the project frames. And time by time take part in these projects different kids, students, teens with normal health, with disabilities, orphans and other persons, and we always want to help them to take new accesses, new knowledges, new knowledges for them, develop how coders, how treat the painters and other specialists in this needed way of our life, if I can to tell. Sorry, my English is very good now.
No, it's very good, Alexander. Thank you for sharing this and for sharing this story. What exactly did the kids and the participants of this IT mini festival do? What were the activities?
In this year, we have different activities. It's 3D modeling, it's web coding, it's making on mobile app and other projects where guys and girls can to found it something interesting for her or she, and we helping them to take new accesses and knowledges for them develop.
And so was this an online? This was a physical event. The people, the kids met each other, or was it online or both?
Look, Annika, how you know now in Ukraine it's Russian-Ukrainian war, and time by time we have different rocket attacks and other not good happening, and now we making maybe 80% of activities online, but we have and offline activities too. And you on the beginning of our token, you cannot say our name of this festival. Into English, it will be how let's code it. Let's code it. Закодуй.
Let's code it. Okay.
Let's code it. Okay, cool. Yeah. We are really happy that you are taking part of Code Week, although your country is in war. Do you think this type of events like Meet and Code Week are important in another way now than before the war? Has it changed something, or?
I think what this project needed for everyone and for kids and for adults. Why? Because now we live in a time when different technologies, different APs are needed for our life, for our work, for our rest, and different lines and frames of our life. And if you don't know how you can to see such engineers, or you don't know how you can to make your own website or different knowledges about any code terms, you cannot you see this life and you will be how maybe in the this time living and don't know how make this, how I can to develop this. And I hope this project will be working in the future too.
Alexander, thank you very much, and thanks for finding time not only to join us today, but also for finding time to bring these coding activities to people and kids in Ukraine. We hope the war will end soon, and our thoughts, of course, are with you and with all your communities. So good luck, and thank you very much for joining us and for sharing this story with us today. Thank you, and Slava Ukraini. Okay, we will go to another guest whom we have here today, and I am adding him now to the stream. I hope he will be able to switch on the camera. Yeah.
Hello.
Hello. We're actually going to fly a lot south. We're flying to Cyprus. I'm talking to Alexander Kofteros, who is leading teacher in Cyprus. And you're going to tell us about the project where you have worked with a Turkish Cypriot teacher and organized a Code Week activity that have brought the two communities together on the island. Can you tell us a little bit about the aim of the activity and why you decided to organize it the way you did?
We actually started organizing Code Week in 2014. That's why I'm wearing this old T-shirt.
The blue T-shirt.
Yeah, I've got the white as well.
And, you need an orange one. We'll send you an orange one.
Yeah, I've got a lot of orange ones, but they're always welcome. So if you want to send me more, I'm more than glad to have them. When we started in 2014, there were not many Turkish Cypriots participating. Actually, there weren't any. So we tried to see what's going on with Turkish Cypriots. I'm not going into the political situation in Cyprus. That's not the place to do that. But definitely, we wanted to have the two communities working together and exchanging information on how they're working with computers, what they're doing at schools, and everything. So we started very slowly in 2016. But I think the cutting point is when I met my partner, Mert Berlin, which actually is from mainland Turkey, actually. So we have the same interests in robotics, in programming. We're both teachers. So we started organizing events together, which eventually led to us doing for the third time in a row EU Code Week bi-communal. And we always start in October because we want to bring teachers together to share their stories and how they work with computers and with programming and what are the differences in Turkish Cypriot schools and in Greek Cypriot schools. And of course, our emphasis is not on actually doing activities ourselves. Of course, we are in our own schools, but mainly to support teach other teachers. That's why we always start with in October in EU Code Week with activities, and we do follow up webinars and trainings and support one-to-one basis in most cases with the other teachers until June, where we also engage them in a science fair based on the first Lego League Discover Explore for kindergarten and primary schools. So it's a whole year event for us. It's a whole year event, and of course. Sorry.
That's great. That's great, Alexandros. That's great to hear, because we are saying also that every week you can celebrate Code Week. So great that you are taking this literally to Cyprus. You mentioned a little bit who participated, but maybe if you can give a little bit more detail. So who organizes the activities and who are the participants?
Okay. First of all, I have to say that we have support from the EU representation here in Cyprus, Mr. Nikolaos Isaris. He sent his regards. He told me that he worked with Annika. And we've got the support. Otherwise, we couldn't rent venues and support the teachers, because this is all on a voluntary basis from me and Mert. So we bring teachers, primary and secondary school teachers, and we've got an increase in teachers from the kindergarten this year. So this is very good for us. It's mostly public school teachers who participate, and teachers from afternoon it's computer-related institutes. So we introduce them to Code Week, to all the resources. We give them workshops on some tools. We give them lesson plans that are already available. It's huge resources, amazing job. And we try to guide them into working on their own activities. And this year we've seen a great increase in the number of activities throughout Cyprus, and this is something that really gets us excited, and hopefully we'll break that next year as well.
Thank you so much, Alexandros, for taking part. It's very keep up the good work. Really, it's very interesting to hear. I cannot find it now, but there is also a blog post by Alexandros on our website. If anyone is interested to read more, we have some colleague that may paste it there soon. But thank you very much from our side.
Yeah.
It's done.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining. And I think we are bringing in another member now of the Code Week team, if I'm not mistaken, because we will talk about EU Code Week online course that we call MOOC, Massive Open Online Course. And that's something that's an opportunity that is still open for teachers and during the last couple of weeks, which is called the EU Code Week Boot Camp. That's the right name of the online course. And we have Eugenia from the Central Code Week team with us.
Hi, Jakub. Hi, Annika. Very happy to be here. Hello.
Can you tell us a little bit about this course? What is it that you learn if you take it?
Of course. So this is an online course, and we'll have 4 modules. We're going to learn about different approaches to teaching coding and computational thinking. So, for example, we're learning about artificial intelligence, text-based programming, visual programming, tinkering and making, and many more. And it's a very hands-on based course. So we have a lot of activities and a lot of practice and materials and opportunities to share and exchange with colleagues.
Okay, and when I know it opened a while ago, is it still open? How does it work? Until when can you take this course?
Yes, so we opened the 10th of October, as you can see on the slides on the screen. The course will end on the November 16th. Right now, we are halfway through the course, so you can still join. In fact, you can join and enroll anytime, but the course deadline is November 16th. So if you have an interest in joining, then I recommend that you join as soon as possible so that you still have time to obtain a course certificate and be able to still be in time to discuss and join some of our live events. Our next live event is November the 3rd. So I encourage everyone interested on the course to join before then, so that you have access to a wonderful workshop with our partners at Microbit.
And Eugenia, how much time does it take to actually participate in the course?
So it's about 4 to 5 hours per week, amounting in total to 17. But at the end of the course, we always allocate a week and a half where there's no content, where people can actually have time to finish the course assignment and make sure that they complete all of the course.
And who participates? Who are the participants?
So the course is aimed at educators, so that's teachers, but as well, for example, cultural mediators, and as well extracurricular activities educators. From all over Europe, we have participants in all over Europe and even beyond. And so I'm very excited to say that we have a very diverse cohort of participants coming from all over and just with very different roles, and also parents as well, of course.
And they are local study groups. Can you tell us more about them?
They are, and that's very exciting. So the course is taking place online, but apart from online, we have on-site study groups. So those are study groups for my teachers who are actually taking the course together in groups. They meet regularly, face-to-face or online. We have 25 of these groups in 10 different countries, I believe. And I think we're going to hear about them in a bit more, but that's, groups that meet together and localize a bit the course and tailor it a bit to their local needs.
Exactly, Eugenia, because we are lucky today. We have Ariana Blažić, also from the Code Week team, who is together with Kristina Slisuric at the conference. Now, I'm not sure exactly where you are. Maybe you can tell us which conference are you at. But the most importantly, you are actually Kristina is actually one of the local study group leader. And so we would like to hear a little bit from you, Kristina, how it is going. And we would just give you the floor, and you can talk, about how the local study group works between yourselves. So the floor is yours, and thanks for connecting remotely to the wrap up.
Thank you all, and hello everyone. We are connecting from Šibenik. There is a big, really huge conference going on for teachers about digital technologies. And I'm very happy that Kristina Slisuric, our leading teacher, is here with me. And Kristina is a study group leader, as you said, Jakob. So I would like to ask you, Kristina, how many members do you have in your study group, and how do you communicate?
Thank you, and hello to everyone. My study group has just 5 members. Our meetings are hybrid. 3 members of the team are in classroom in our school, including me, and the other 2 teachers are at their homes, and all of us are together in live chat via Microsoft Teams. Our meetings are taking place every Wednesday, and then we talk about each module. Each week, we discuss about each module.
So how does it work? What are some of the activities that you have completed with the members of your study group?
In my study group, there are 2 teachers who teach, primary teachers who teach young children in primary school, all subjects, and 2 teachers who teach computer science. Till now, we find many activities which we can implement in our class based on coding, like dance party, pixel art, a lot of unplugged activities, tinkering. For example, a teacher and children created small paper robots. My colleagues are very happy to join this MOOC and learn from others, and also to share their own ideas, practices, and opportunities.
That's really great to hear. And I would now like to ask you about the benefits. So they enjoy participating in the MOOC in this way, but what would you say, what the benefits for teachers are of participating in a MOOC in this way?
Study groups are great for those who had difficulties with English language, because in our week meetings, we discuss every activities in MOOC in our language. Also, study groups are great for teachers who want to learn something new, but have a lack of digital competences.
Yeah, indeed, I would agree. So language barriers, digital skills. Also, if they are not good at something, it's really convenient to be part of this group. And my final questions would be about the plans for your team members, plans for your students. So what do you plan for the future?
Within the study groups, we are focusing on those activities from the MOOC that we find to be good and usable in the environment of our school. So we are planning to organize workshops that every student of our school can take part in Code Week community through various activities. Some are unplugged, some are with computers or tablets or smartphones. And so that all teachers are involved. And who knows, maybe next year my study group will have 10 or more members.
Yeah, let's hope so. So thank you, Christina, once again for spreading the joy of coding and of Code Week. And over to you, Jakob.
Ariana and Christina, thank you again very much for sharing this experience also remotely. I just found on Facebook that Elisabetta shared that she already has done this training course and that it was very interesting for her. So hopefully she is benefiting from it now and will still organize some coding activities until the end of the year.
I also think it must be more fun to do it together with some other people than to do it alone, apart from the other benefits.
Indeed.
Okay, we're going to go. Thank you so much, Ariana and Christina. We're going to speak a little bit to Eugenia now. Welcome back. And this year we have launched a pilot project called the EU School Label. Can you just tell us a little bit about it?
Yes, so the Code Week School Label aims to award a certificate to schools that have been participating for a long time within Code Week and that promote actually an excellent example of participating in Code Week. The certificate is awarded to them for 2 school years, and right now we are on the pilot phase of the project. So the school label is in 6 countries, as Slovenia, France, Spain, the Netherlands. It's like a memory game. The Netherlands, Greece, and Italy.
And so how has it gone, this pilot, Eugenia? And how many schools have received the label?
So I would say it was very successful. We are still computing the final numbers and selecting the final, doing the final selection. So if some of you that are hearing us right now have not heard yet the results, it will be coming in the next week. So yes, you will hear very soon. But about 70 schools have received the school label. So that's a very, I would say it's a very big success. And we're very thankful to all of the schools who applied, regardless that they obtained the label or not. But we're very thankful to see such an interest in Code Week and in actually actively joining Code Week and being a good example of participation.
Okay, and what happens next now?
So we want to celebrate the label, and we are very excited. I'm very excited to announce that we're going to have an online event to celebrate the results of the label, as well to hear the plans of the schools. This online event will take place on the 24th of November, which is a Thursday at 5 p.m. Brussels time. So everyone who's listening and all of the Code Week community is warmly invited to join us and celebrate together these results. As well, we're going to talk about the next steps in the label, so whether there is chances for other schools to apply next year. So I recommend that you tune in, celebrate with us, and hear the plans of these wonderful schools that have obtained a certificate this year.
Very good, Eugenia. Thank you very much. And I was just showing the certificate, which looks really nice, and it's super cool when it's printed out, and you can then put it on the wall in your school, and it would look just amazing. So to all the teachers who are listening, if you want one, just keep eyes open. Participate to this event on the 24th of November, and you will learn more how to eventually get one also for your school. So Eugenia, thank you very much.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
And we will now have our last guest today, if I'm not mistaken. And this guest is Dorina Marin, who is a leading teacher from Romania. Dorina, thank you very much for patiently waiting in the lobby. I know that we are a little bit delayed and you have been there for very long, but thank you for joining us. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you. Hello from Romania.
Hello, thank you for coming to us. Could you tell us a little bit about how you work in your school, because you actually work throughout the year, like Alexandros does too, which we like a lot, of course. Maybe you could describe a little bit the first grade students working with Osobot, or what you do through the year to us, to the viewers.
3 years ago, we start with unplugged activities. Last school year, we have learned with Ozobots at American Corner. And this school years, we have augmented reality and a code.org for, programmation. My English is not perfect, sorry. And we have a project.
I think we have some pictures you have to show when Dorina says augmented reality. Look at these pictures. Can you describe a little bit? Because there's these animals there, and I realize they're not real.
It's a cougar or something.
This is what they made with Arlopa 3D. It's an application for phones. And this is in lab. They work with computer in code.org. Sorry, my English is not perfect.
But the pictures look great. Tell us how many kids participated to these activities? How did you make them these pictures on, where are these, on the street in your city?
Oh, no, it's in my school.
Okay. And how many people participated? How many kids
I have 25 students. Okay. And 12 girls.
Excellent. And almost half, yeah.
yeah. And we have a new project, a collaboration between our school and Alexandru Ioan Cuza University with STEM lessons and VR technology for all the school year.
Okay, very and good. What do the pupils think? Do they like it?
All my students like it. And I repeat every time, push the button, scan the QR code. But they are very good, very, very good and fast.
All right. Well, Dorina, thank you very much for connecting from Romania, and good luck with all the activities that you are doing now or that you will do in the future. And thanks for being part of the Code Week community as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, Annika, I think it's time to wrap up. We have again been longer than expected, but I think the discussions and the stories that we heard were really inspiring, and we saw also many comments on Facebook. So thank you very much for connecting from all over the world. I saw that there were some people from Egypt, Tunisia, Bangladesh, but of course many European countries as well. So happy to have this, that Code Week does not stay only in Europe. But what are now the next steps for Code Week from now until the end of the year? Because it's not fully over yet.
It's not fully over. I just want to do 3 reminders first. So the first one is you can organize activities until the end of the year, and please don't forget to register them on the map. You can also build alliances through the Code Week for All challenge until the end of the year. And please report all your activities so that you can get certificates, and you can either check out the blog post that a colleague will post in the chat of how to report activities, or you can go a little bit back in this video and you will see Tommaso explaining it really well. Then,
and so this is for the next weeks, and yes. But then there is much more happening and ahead of us for the next months, and you have the full overview.
I would like to flag that next year we're going to organize hackathons again, online hackathons. So that's going to come up in some countries. There will be lots of training opportunities with more online courses, but also train the trainer courses, or like we like to call them, the summer or the spring schools, where we bring together teachers who we train to be able to train other teachers. We have a series of podcasts that we're going to do 15 new episodes. So that's going to come. We have community meetings. I think you should sign up for the newsletter, follow us on social media. There's also the Computer Science Week that's celebrated in December that you shouldn't forget. And then I think that's the big lines, Jakub.
That's the
Did I
big
forget
lines.
something?
And no, I think you mentioned it all. And of course, keep looking at the blog, because we will be publishing news stories on the blog, especially from Code Week 2022, when we are still celebrating the 10th anniversary. And all the news and all the information, as Annika said, will be posted on social media, and you will get it also through the newsletter. And Annika, there is also one big important announcement that we are about to make. That things will change also in the central coordination team, correct?
Yes, so Jakub and I will hand over the coordination of Code Week to some colleagues in another part of the European Commission. They will take very good care of you, and we are so happy to have worked with you. It's been a real honor, and you're so passionate about this, and this has given us a lot of energy, and we have really loved it, right, Jakub? This is
Definitely. I can just sign what you just said, and really big thanks for making Code Week what it is now, because it's not the Commission. It's actually not anyone in the central Code Week team. We are here to support you. And what Code Week is based on the ambassadors, leading teachers, organizers, and the participants. So big thanks to all of you. Code Week will now, the central team will slightly change in terms of composition, but it will still be here for you. It will still be sharing resources. It will be still supporting you. And I think, as Annika said, all the hackathons and materials and activities that are planned will continue and probably even grow. So fingers crossed. It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much.
And remember, as I always say, you are Code Week, and Code Week is you. So with those words, I think we can wrap up the 10th anniversary. And
thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good luck. Thank
Bye.
you.
Všechno nejlepší k 10. narozeninám.
La mulți ani de 10 ani.
Ευτυχισμένα 10τα γενέθλια, Ευρωπαϊκή Εβδομάδα Προγραμματισμού. Buon 10º compleanno.
Auguri per il tuo 10º compleanno.
Srećen 10. rođendan.
Sretan 10. rođendan Boži. Sretan 10. rođendan.
Sretnu 10. godišnjicu.
Boldog 10. születésnapot.
Een gelukkige 10e verjaardag.
Joyeux 10e anniversaire.
Happy 10th birthday.
Feliz 10º aniversario.
Daudz laimes 10. gada
Feliz
jubileā.
10º aniversario.
Happy 10th birthday.
Bon anniversaire de 10 ans, hola, Code Week.
Feliz 10º cumpleaños. Happy 10th birthday.
Tillykke med de 10 år.
Alles Gutes für den 10. Geburtstag.
Happy 10th birthday.
Parabéns pelo 10º aniversário.
Alles Gute zum 10-jährigen
Buon
Geburtstag.
10º compleanno, Code Week.
Χρόνια πολλά, Code Week. Γίνεσαι 10.
Felice 10º compleanno.